Good evening, Bakersfield and Kern County. My name is Jim Robinson, and I am here with Lori Eskew. Now, the one thing that we have in common here is that both of us are running as for trustee positions on the Kern County Board of Education, which is located in downtown Bakersfield. Perhaps many of you have been to meetings about that. This has been a rather contentious race because right now we have a slate of candidates, all of whom are going up against incumbents, and these four these four these four challengers for Area 1, Jonathan Hudson, a local businessman. Area 4, Ernesto Garay, also a local businessman. Lori Eskew, a retired probation officer, and also and I'm currently running for Area 5. And myself, Jim Robinson, I'm a teacher here in Kern County. I work at a private homeschool organization. And we are asking for your vote. We wanted to go ahead and use this platform to explain a little more broadly what it is that this particular slate of candidates is about. Now, our strategy here is that if we can get two of the four of us elected to seats on the Kern County Board of Education, then we will be able to flip the board and do things like do away with AB 1955. Because right now we are being tromped on by Sacramento. One of our main focuses is that we do not want Sacramento reaching into Kern County and telling us what we must do. As a conservative board, which is what we will be if we get two of these candidates elected to the board, we will be lesser magistrates and we will be able to go ahead and speak for the people of Kern County as long as we stand on constitutional grounds, and that is what we have all sworn to do. When we take our oath to the Constitution of California and to the Constitution of the United States, we intend to uphold that. And we will do so at the point of stopping Sacramento from coming in and dictating to us what sort of education policies that we will have to enforce. So anyway, this is Lori Eskew, as I mentioned, and she too is somebody who's wanting very, very much to focus on the family. And so, Lori, how's your campaign been?
It's been really good, Jim. We've been very busy. I do have one correction. I was not a probation officer. I was a juvenile correction officer.
Oh, okay, very good.
Okay, so those are two different things in the probation department. So I always have to make sure that's clear. Anyway, campaign's been doing well. I've been out and about in my community. I am very community oriented anyway. I've lived here my whole life, so I do like doing a lot of stuff out in our community. So yeah, so I've been out and about doing a lot of stuff. We just had a community garden. The Compassion Christian Center has taken over the community garden in my area, so I was very lucky to go to the ribbon cutting for that. So it was really a nice thing to be at. But you were speaking about different policies and procedures that have been going on that Sacramento is trying to start. We all know that I'm very much against AB 1955. That will go into effect January 1st, 2025. I am very concerned over that bill that will be starting with my background, with my law enforcement background. I do know how children think. I'm more worried that lines of communication will be broken down. Transparency is going to be broken down. And the main thing that's going to be broken down is going to be trust. If you hide things from parents as a teacher, as you are a teacher, could you imagine hiding things from your parents? That trust issue is going to be broken. A lot of communication is being broken down anyway because we are in the computer age where everything is on the computer and not everybody has a computer. But trusting your teacher. I know I trusted my kids' teacher. I'm sure my parents trusted my teachers. But when you hide things, your trust is going to be broken. So this bill only serves 1% of the population at school. And these kids, every kid needs to be safe. I think 100% of our children need to be safe, not just 1% of our population that needs to be safe. I do know the schools try to get the parents involved, but if the child doesn't want the parent involved, then the child gets to keep the secret. Eventually, I'm sure that the kid will be outed out anyway because someone's going to call in sick, and Someone's going to be on vacation. Things are going to happen where, something's going to come out. Um, Teachers are already mandated reporters. So if this child feels threatened, you know, tell the teacher they're mandated reporters. You don't have to hide things from your parents. There's already, and if there's already an issue at home, tell your teacher and they're already a mandated reporter. My biggest concern is you're going to have the kid coming to school that's going to decide he wants going to do something malicious and going to change his gender and go into a bathroom or a locker room and assault a child, or mainly a girl. And how would you feel if that was your child or your granddaughter? And I'm not just blaming boys, because girls do it to boys also, but more than likely it's going to be a boy that does it to a girl. So I just think this bill is going to cause chaos. San Bernardino County Board has done a parent notification, and I don't understand why Kern County Board of Education can't do one.
Given the contentious nature of AB 1955, what I want to point out most first and foremost about this, because everything you said was right, was spot on as far as I was concerned. The main issue is that the people of Kern County are tired of Sacramento coming down and dictating policy to us.
Correct.
All of
Correct.
our agency. We're talking about everything. We're talking about voting. We're talking about petroleum. We're talking about agriculture. The overreach of Sacramento is egregious. And this has to stop, and we are determined to go ahead and stop the kind of overreach that AB 1955 is. Now, I'm a teacher, and nothing really special about that except the place that I work. But I've always focused on the 4 domains of communication as a teacher, which are reading, writing, speaking, and listening. These fundamentals are so incredibly important to laying a foundation down that will allow for success in the areas of science. Because if you can't read, you can't read science. If you can't read, you can't read history. If you can't if you can't speak well, how are you going to carry on conversations, enlightening conversations about some of the deeper matters, like scientific matters, like historical matters? All of these things are all language oriented. I mean, how important do you think those actually are to the development of critical thinking skills?
Well, I'm right there with you, Jim. Right now, we push kids through that can't even write their last name. We have the No Kid Left Behind, so kids don't get left behind. It seems that our schools are more interested in ethnic studies, who gets expelled and doesn't get expelled from school, or suspensions. And you're not worried about the little boy or the little girl that can't even write their name. So if you can't write your name, if you can't read, if you can't carry on a conversation, how are you going to be a productive citizen when you get out in the world as an adult? And as a parent, and as a grandparent, almost a great grandparent, you as a teacher, that's what we want our kids to success. Even as a juvenile correction officer, that's what I wanted my children to do. I wanted them to become successful adults in our community. They had to go to school when they were locked up. And so they had to learn to read. They had to learn to write. They had to learn to speak. They had to have critical thinking. We taught them that when they were locked up. So I wanted my kids to leave juvenile hall and not break the law and become productive adults, just like you want your children to leave your school and become productive adults. What are they doing now? It seems like they're dumbing down our kids, and they're not leaving schools where they're not becoming productive adults.
Well, I'm looking at the things that we're looking to do.
Excuse me.
As if given the privilege of serving the citizens of Kern County and of Bakersfield, our agenda, if you want to call it that, is not against everything. What our agenda is for things. It's for things like the family. It's for things like common sense education that builds the foundational skills necessary for a child to succeed and to really educate themselves, to develop those critical thinking skills, which seem to have just gone out the window.
Correct.
We're also taking a look at how money is being spent. How is money actually being spent? Let's go ahead and take one subject. What about school meals? All right. How much money is actually being spent on those, and how healthy are they actually for the students. I know that this has been a battle that's been going on for a very, very long time to go ahead and get kids to eat healthy. But if the choices that they have, if the Board of Education is responsible for seeing to it that the cafeterias are making more responsible choices and putting better food out for the kids, eventually that's going to come over and it's going to start to show up because a number of the issues that children are having in schools with attitude and also too they as a result of what it is they're actually consuming on a daily basis, this is also impacting their education, and there needs to be some redirection to that. And this is an area that the school board is also has a say in. The people on the school board can actually make an impact and have an impact, a positive impact on something as basic as nutrition to go ahead and help the kids get into a healthier environment to where their state of mind will be one that they're going to want to learn and not going to be fighting against it. I don't go off script often when I'm doing things like this. I'm usually working with a script. So I'm actually feeling kind of clunky, but the more I talk about this stuff, the more I feel the importance of what it is that we're doing here. And again, it's not the idea of being against anything, it is being for things. And the things that the slate of candidates we're talking about are Jonathan Hudson, Ernesto Garay, yourself, Lori Eskew, and me, Jim Robinson. We're looking to go ahead and bring back positive changes. It's not that we're trying to get rid of carts and horses. We don't want the cart to be before the horse anymore. We want to make sure that the cart is positioned properly so that we can actually get on down the road safely, and we can go ahead and put together proven records of success by allowing our kids to prove their own ability to be successful. And we do that by taking away the distractions that so many people feel free to go ahead and heap upon all of the education departments across California. The change is happening. The people have gotten into the school, the people are getting into the school boards now who are looking to make those positive changes. We are looking to create a healthy and, dare I say, wholesome environment in which kids can go and be safe.
Right.
And when they're safe, they're not distracted. When they're not distracted, there's a better chance of their absorbing some of the learning that teachers are going to offer them. So,
Right.
um,
And I'm glad you said positive because it seems like everyone looks at us like we are wanting to take things away. We want to change this. Most of the people that are running against this, they always say they want to follow the law. They want to follow the law. That's, we don't want to not follow the law, but that's also that we want the law to change. That's all we're wanting. We want a positive law to change. And we're not trying to take things away, but we want a safe environment, like you said, no distractions for our kids. We want good, healthy food. Excuse me. I was out campaigning at the fairgrounds because that's my area. And I ran into a lady that works in the school's food area. And I asked her, I said, sometimes you just want to say, I'm not feeding the kids this. And she said, yes. Sometimes I just want to say, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to feed the kids this. So if that's coming from somebody that works in the food industry for our children, what's that telling you?
well, it's telling us that there are changes that have to be made, and that they are, in fact, if we bring the right people in, which is what I believe this slate of candidates is. I believe that we are the correct people. And we're ready to roll up our sleeves and actually do something. It's not, no, thank you very much, meeting.
Are we going over our time?
No, I just said it's good. Now we just had the time lapse on it. But we're looking to effect some positive change. Then there does have to be some change. We have incumbents that have been far too long on the school board who really and truly have done nothing. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the last school board meeting we went to last month, I heard 3 of the 7 members speak up. That was it. I heard 3 who spoke up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, there were 7 people there. The rest of them sat there and didn't say much of anything until it came time to actually report on, hey, this is what's happening in my particular area. Now, this is not the kind of a school board that I would like to see. What I'd like to see are people who are actually having the discussions, okay, amongst themselves, coming to reasonable decisions that are in favor of the kids and not in favor of some agenda that is coming down from on high. We don't need Sacramento to tell us how to raise our kids, how to educate our kids here in Kern County. And we are a slate of candidates who are prepared to go ahead and stand up to that. There are 4 of us that are running. If we can bring all 4 of us in,
That would be yep.
Jonathan Hudson for Area 1, Ernesto Garay for Area 2, Lori Eskew for Area 5, and Jim Robinson for Area 6. We would all love the honor of serving Kern County. But if we can get 2 of us in there, then real change can actually come about.
Right.
And it will be good, positive change. People, I promise you that. What we're not offering miracles. What we are offering you is the promise to go on ahead and stand up to those who would come into Kern County and dictate to us how we are to raise and educate our children.
Right. We're there to fight for your children.
Absolutely.
We're here to fight for your children.
For what it's worth, I'm trying to go ahead and get one of these going every night with the other candidates as well between now and the election. So if you can make yourself available, Lori, during the evening over the next 6 nights, then I'd like to continue doing this.
Yep. I will try to make myself available as much as I can, Jim.
So, and I will go ahead and I'll shoot and make sure that there's enough lead time going out so that Kern County can meet the other 4 candidates as well. And I would like to thank everybody who takes the time to listen to this. We're going to do our absolute best for you, I promise. So,
and if anybody wants to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me at Eskew, the number 4, trustee, at gmail.com. Email me. And then I will give me your phone number. I'll call you back. If you have questions for me, ask me anything. Even if it's not in my area, I will try my best to answer any questions that you might have. You know, I'm here for your children. That's what we're here for.
We're going to be posting contact information on the sites that we put this on. There are going to be a number of Facebook pages. There'll be my website, and we'll have breadcrumbs leading to those sites, so you'll be able to go ahead and see all of our contact information.
Oh, that'll work.
Speaking for myself, not asking for money. I've spent what I'm going to spend on this campaign, and I'd like to say that I'm proudly sitting with somebody right now who had the same idea that I was, that we're not out to go ahead and spend a whole bunch of money doing this. We want to go ahead and we wanted to run honest, decent campaigns.
Right.
We want to get out to where we're actually talking to people live and not just worried about spending money. We're not about flash. We are about function, and we are about making sure that the kids of Kern County and the families of Kern County remain safe and remain as content as they possibly can with a government agency like a school board. So we thank you all very, very much for your time. And like I said, we'll post the information on those sites, on the Facebook pages that we put this on. So until tomorrow night, everybody, God bless. Thank you very, very much. And please remember to vote on November 5th. No matter who you vote for on November 5th, please get out and vote. Please vote. Thank you very much, Kern County, and good night.